So I found some reference material for this type of building, and this was a fairly good one. Of course, there's a bunch of these all over the place, but I took this one and I saved it. And what I'll do is inside Maya, just make a new scene here. I will go to my front view, so orthographic front, or hold spacebar and click here and go front view. And then while in the front view, I'll go to view, and then I'll select image plane, import image, and then I'll need to find the image I just downloaded, and it's here, and that will put that image into the Maya scene as a background. So you can see I can pan around it, and if I go back to perspective, you can see that I have this reference image in there. To make my life a little easier, I'll push it back. So right now I have this image plane node in my attribute editor on my channel box. It doesn't matter. But if I go down a little bit, you can see I have this thing called image center, and I want to push it back in the Z axis. So I'll set the Z to -10 maybe, like so. Because when I create new models, they will be placed here at the center of the universe. So I'll use this as a reference. And if I look at this house, it's like it's a segment here with 3 windows and 4 stories, something like that. So I'll just go ahead and build a cube. And for instance, just look at it in the front view. And I can actually just nudge this over. So I just grab the image plane and I'll put it over here so that it's more or less centered to my workspace. Okay. So I'll scale this up, and of course the image has a slight angle or perspective, so it won't fit completely, but it'll be okay. So I'll do something like this. This is going to be my building, and then again, looking at a front view, I want to add segments here. So I go to my insert edge loop tool, and then I'll just add a segment there, and one there, and one there, and then here perhaps I want it to be around there. Okay. So this way I have sort of an idea of what the size of my house should be, and then essentially it's a question of how I want to approach this. Will I create some of the funny things here first, or do I want to create the windows first? So I'll go for the windows, and I can do this in a couple of different ways. I can start splitting my polygon and then deleting the faces. So I'll try that on the first floor here. So I'll just go and do something like this, and then this, and then I'll do it the other direction as well. So this is one way of doing it. And there. So you can see that now I have created I've created this, and then I can go and grab face, and I could then delete these to create the windows. Or I could also use my extrude tool to drag these in slightly, so that these will be the windows. So these are both ways to do it. It depends on how you want the model to be, if you want it to be a solid model or you want it to be a segmented model. So the nice thing about this is that you get decent lines running through the whole model. You could also use booleans to cut it in, but I think this will work better because you get a nicely tessellated model. You get the nice segments all the way. So I'll just go back to front view here, and then I need to create something like this around the window, and I'll actually create this as a separate piece of geometry. So for this I'll create yet another cube. Let's move this up here just put it around there, and just scale this in like so, and then oops, change the height of this, maybe make it something like this perhaps, and maybe I'll just do a duplicate, Control D, move the other one over here, and then grabbing both of these pieces here, I'll probably just drag them out here so that we can see them. Then what I'll do is I'll just hide this. What I'll do is I'll make these two into one model. So I'll just grab both of them and then go Mesh, Combine, and that means that now they are just one piece of geometry. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll use my, in this case I'll use Cut tool. I could use the Insert Edge Loop, but I would have to do it here and here. But if I use the Cut Faces tool, here, see Cut Faces, and then I can click somewhere and hold Shift. So just click here and hold Shift, and that will cut the model. You can see it separates it right now. That's because of the settings for the cut. I can turn that off over here, and it will do it for all of them at the moment, but that's okay. So I'll just go do another cut here, then turn off the extract thing there, and then that's basically it. Then I have this, and then I want to connect these, so I go and grab the face here and the face here, and depending on which version of Maya you're using, you can just select the faces and then go Edit Mesh Bridge, and it'll connect these. Or if you're using an older version, you need to delete these, both of them, and then go and grab Edge, and then grab the edges going around like this, and the same thing for the other side here, and then go Bridge. Sometimes you can have a situation where it will look where it will look like this, or this, or this. Then you need to change the bridge offset. So, but for this I think it'll work automatically. I don't want it to have subdivisions at the moment, so I change the subdivisions to 0, like so. And then I do the same thing at the bottom. So I'll just go face this thing and this thing and bridge it, and then turn the divisions down to 1. So now I have something like this. And then I'll use, in this case I can just use my edge loop tool, so I'll just add another loop there, and then for the bottom here, see, now I'm sort of flying around this model, so what I'll do is I'll just select the face and press F, so now that is my center, so now I'll rotate it around that, and I'll go to the bottom here, and I'll just use extrude while in the front view, and just make this little thing going down to the bottom here, back to perspective. And then for the window part here, I might drag this in slightly. I can just go and pull this in a little bit like so, but first I would add an edge to this. So if I did something like that, I would grab these and just do a small extrude here, just to add an extra element, and then this thing here I could just place at the depth I would like, or I could actually just grab this edge going here and there, and then drag this in to a level I think would fit the window, something like that. And then for instance this face here and this face here, I could drag these out slightly. For the bottom down here I need to add extra lines, so I'll add an extrude here, there, and then go and grab face there, shift double click here, and then extrude this. Just drag this out slightly, and of course I can use things like, if I grab the edge here, the whole edge across, and then use something like a bevel to just round that edge off down here. Maybe add an extra segment, or not, I'll just add that. And then this thing up here, if I wanted an extra edge here, I can just add an extra edge loop, and then perhaps grab the faces going around here, and then extrude that like so, perhaps. So this can sometimes happen if you drag the blue arrow. Then you can also use the thickness, so that will come out straight like so. And of course this depends on how much detail you want to add. So at some point you'll just say, okay, this is fine. So just add another level here, there, and then another extrude, and a little bit of thickness, something like that. And of course something like the very nicely detailed thing here would be something you do with texture. And if you want more of these ridges, you can just actually, for this I'd use the cut faces again. Go cut faces tool, there we go. And then I'll just need to select this as an object, and then go cut faces tool, and then just cut it there. Turn off the extract for this again, there, and then have another one here, extract off, etc. So you can keep on adding the detail you think you need. So something like that, move this out, maybe something like this. So that would be the frame, and of course this is a little deep right now, so I could grab the vertices just on the back here and then pull these out like so. And then I would want to add the window frame itself. So essentially that is just another cube in there. So add a cube, move that up there, and then I just need to just turn on wires here, and I just need to make that fit like so. The easiest thing here is grab the vertex points and then just drag those over there and over there, something like this. Okay. And then what I'll do with this thing is that I'll grab the face here and the face on the rear, and I'll use the extrude and then use a small offset, just drag it in like so, and then use a bridge to multiple objects selected. I don't have multiple objects, let's just try again, and then do a bridge. There you go. See, this creates this weird spinning effect, and that's where I need to change the bridge offset to maybe 1. Yeah, that'll fix it. And then I have the frame here, and I'll just move it up here, and then I need to change the depth of it until it fits nicely. I could do this as just one piece, but if I wanted at some point to open windows or something like that, it would be smart to have it as separate parts. And then obviously I'll actually do a duplicate of this, Control D, and then I'll just scale this in a little bit like so, and then I'll just grab the vertices here and I'll pull these up there, something like that. And I'll grab that, Control D, to create a duplicate more. Maybe just drag this back slightly, and then just grab the vertex here, drag this down, something like that. So there I have like a basic window, and then of course there's no window glass in there yet, but I could do that with another polygon. I can actually use a plane, or I could use another method, but let's just use a cube because that's easy to work with. So just drag that up there. Again, same method, vertex, drag these into place, and then top ones up here, up here, and this thing should then have another material. I'll just go to rendering, blend, and then just make this transparent like so, and then Control D, duplicate this down so I can see it just clears there, and then Control Vertex, grab this, drag it down there. One thing I'll do here is I would actually link these, so this, well, they're out here on the back, of course. Just bring them out here, something like that for that one, and something like that for that one, and then just go vertex, bring this forward like so, and the same thing for this thing, bring these forward, there we go. And then the thing I'll do here is grab this and then shift select the frame, or do it the other way around if you like, or I could actually just combine these, but if I parent them with P, they will be part of the same model. So as long as I grab the frame, it will move the glass with it. So the same thing here, there, P, and then I could grab this, and then that frame around here, and do P, and then this frame here, and then this thing, and then P. So if I grab the outer thing here, I can actually move this around like one nice piece. So go back to front view, Control Shift H will show the last hidden object, and then I can grab this, Control D, and I can start to move this around and just place these, Control D, place it over here, and then maybe grab all of them, Control D, move this down, and of course this will not fit in exactly because this is it's a photograph that isn't at the right angle. So something like that down here. So you can see they get bigger down here. Maybe they are actually taller, and then we'd need to go in and just grab our component, go to vertex mode, and then maybe grab the vertices for this thing here, then bring these up and bring these down. So I'm using this up here because then I can do it on multiple objects at the same time. Then go back to object mode. So here you can see I fairly quickly have something that looks like a house. Then what I need to do is just fix this model here, just make the holes for it. So go to the front view, go to wireframe, and then go in and go to polygons, and then insert edge loop. So maybe insert it here and here and here and there. Okay, and then go back, and then I just need to maybe move this back slightly so that I can just see what I'm doing. Oops, that's too far. Then go face, grab this, 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 and this, and then extrude these back like so, and then bring this whole house forward until it fits. So get something like this. So you can see quickly I get something that looks very much like a house. And for this thing here, for the material for the house, I would use something. Oh, okay, I made some weird mistake down here. Never mind. What I'd do here was I would use a planar map for this, so maybe I would actually delete all of this surrounding parts here, so grab all of these, get rid of those, and maybe get rid of the window frames as well. So just go side view. That depends on what it's used for here. So if I do this, then I simply just have like a shell of the front of the house. And then for this I would use something like a planar map for this thing here. If I open the UV texture editor, you can see I have this. That doesn't look too good. But what I could do is create UVs, planar mapping, and set it to project in the Z axis in this case, like so, and then go project. And you can see now I have projected the whole thing going this way. I actually have a weird polygon issue here. This thing was something I made that was wrong. Just need to get rid of this face. There you go. And then I need to go and get a nice texture of like this type of house. So let's just pop over to Google and then go. These type of houses are called brownstone. Let's see if we can find a nice texture here. Something. I just want a high-res one, larger than 2 megapixels. So let's see if we can get something nice. Let's see, tileable. So something like this. So we will grab this. There's a watermark in this, but it doesn't matter. Brown going carpet. Okay, it's a carpet, but never mind. So once that is selected, I will go and create a material for this, and I will go to texture and set a file, and then I'll find that texture there. Need to turn on texturing. You get something that looks like this, and need to turn down the reflectiveness of this material. So turn these things down, so I get something that's too shiny, something like this. And then what I'll do is I'll go to the texture here, and we have this thing called a place 2D texture node, and I'll tile it. So I'll say the repeat in the U axis, the up and down, should be maybe 5, so you can see it tiles it like so. Maybe it should be more, maybe 6 or 8, something like this, and then across it should be 2 perhaps. And I can set this to mirror so that it'll mirror nicely, and then turn off the grid. Yeah. So I get something that looks fairly decent quickly. And I'll do the same thing for the frames for the windows. Of course, the inner part here should be black, but the outer part here should be textured nicely. So if this will actually just be a little annoying, because it will actually, I can do it here in the outliner. If I grab all these, and then you can see the outliner here, and if I then just unfold each of these, I'm holding the shift key for it to unfold the whole thing. Okay, and then I want to select the top one here, but not the rest of it. And you can see when I select it right now, I select everything. So if I turn on shapes up here, and I then select the shapes instead, there, let's see, there, and there. So that selects all of the oh, I missed one. There we go. So it selects out of all of the outer ones, and then I'll just add a new material to that, and I'll use the same texture and it sort of looks nice some of the way. You can see it looks not so good over here, because all of these are created using extrusions, and the UVs become funny when you do something like that. So if I just go to UV texture editor, you can see I have this. It's not really good. I have overlapping areas. That's what the purple thing means. But I can just do something called automatic mapping, and that will map it nicely. Let's see if I can find the one I've selected. So it's this thing down here, and you can see it looks nice once I do that. So I can try to do that on all of them at the same time. And that one and that one. Good. Now I missed one again. It's that one there. Good. And then I go to create UVs, automatic mapping, just take the options, and this should be fine. I'll go apply, and it creates all of these based on projections. And then I have my windows there. They're slightly shinier because I didn't change the material for these. Just go to material and then turn down the shininess for these. And then for the window frames, I would again have to go through this. I'll only do it on one window. Actually, I should have done this before I went into each, before I duplicated it. So you can see this frame here, and this frame here, and not that one, but this frame here. They should all become black. So I add a new material, and then I just make them black and quite shiny. So something like that. They don't need texture for this, so I end up with something that looks like this. And of course I could continue doing the door. That would be the same thing. To create something like the staircase, I would just do a cube and then extrude one level at a time, and then just add the windows at the bottom, and then we have something we could duplicate at the end. So if I just grab everything here and go Control G, that will group it, and then I can just duplicate it, move this over, and when I did this like this, I can then do Shift D and it'll just do a lot of copies, and then I have like a big building. And if I had made different versions of them, maybe just different textures or slightly different height texture windows, something like that, I could then mix and match them, and that way I could create houses. The top bit up here essentially is the same as creating the window cubes and start shaping them out. The really detailed stuff I would do in something like Modbox. So just draw that on as a texture, because you wouldn't get like this close to it. Well, if you did, you would have to model it, but usually you would look at it from this distance, so all you can see is that there is detail, but you can't really see the shape of it. You can just see the detail. So you would go and paint that into it. Yeah, that's essentially how to approach building quick backdrop houses for something like this. Okay.